careful.
Yes.
Why can human beings alone practice meditation? Today's is our topic.
Okay.
So, human being endowed with an intellect unlike other living species. The Buddhi in Sanskrit is known as intellect. The Buddhi in Sanskrit is known as intellect. But the intellect means what it means. It means to wake, be awake. It also means to observe, attend, learn, become aware. The other meaning is to be conscious. So when I say become conscious, it means I become aware of myself and the world. This intellect also means the power to retain concepts, reason, ability to discern and comprehend. But the most beautiful meaning, you see that the word buddhi is derived from bodh. Bodh means to be awake. You see the name Buddha comes from the same root. Bodh. So what that means? When Siddhartha was awakened to the highest state, he was named Buddha, not Buddha. The way we pronounce in our country, that means old. Buddha. It is not Buddha. It is Buddha, the awakened state. So the intellect plays a very important role to succeed in the journey of mindfulness. That is why, we teachers talk to clarify the concepts and make things clear to the intellect. But those people who do not listen, they simply say, okay, let us close your eyes, focus on the breath. How long you can focus on the breath? So it means you cannot live into the state of mindfulness 24/7. So now the master explains beautifully. One master who lived in the 7th century. You see that, when we teach physics, a teacher teaches physics, he has to refer the Newton, the Archimedes, the Einstein, the Schrödinger, the lot of physicists. The same way we talk of the different masters. What's the big deal? So among all the living species, human birth is rare to obtain. This is how the master explains. Why it is rare to obtain? Because we are endowed with an intellect. Animals also have an intelligence, but that intelligence is programmed, dictated by the nature. We are dictated by the nature, and we can also bypass it. So I'm talking only of the intellect. So the master says, briefly, and then we will understand it. So first he says the first rare thing, it is rare that the human birth to obtain. It is more challenging to obtain the manhood, to attain the manhood. What is that manhood? The maturity of the intellect. It is even rare to achieve a refined and a subtle intellect. You might have heard about the word sattva, the sattvic attitude of the intellect. And once we attain the sattvic attitude of the intellect, it is more difficult to treat the path of mindfulness. It is rare to gain a right understanding of the mindfulness. Means we have a power of discernment and between real and unreal. And it is rarest to achieve a personal experience that leads to liberation or freedom. Liberation and freedom is not a matter of chance. Master says it takes millions of lives lived wisely, and earning merits can alone help the seeker to succeed. So he, in a one verse, he explains everything. So let us understand. First is the animal life. Animal life is programmed by the nature. So like Windows at default, every time you open a computer, the same thing appears. If there is no bug, if there is no virus. So similarly, the animal life is governed by the unconscious operation of the nature. And their main thing is the insecurity, survival. But the human being has mixed emotion. You see the mixture: pain, pleasure, profit, loss, victory, defeat, sorrow, happiness. So how do I know it? I know it by intellect. Intellect finds out, oh, this is pain, this is pleasure, profit, this is loss. So it means the existence has given us an opportunity to evolve. How to evolve? Leave the pain, continuously move to the pleasure, get frustrated, marry. No, I am not married, that is why I am unhappy. So I get married. So after a few years, I divorce. Why? Because I am unhappy. You see, it is the intellect that continues to observe. But the Master says that this intellect needs to be purified. You can make a decision, yes. So we make a very mechanical and habitual reaction. Okay, you hate me. You don't like me now. So let me stop talking to you. Let me divorce. I should become unhappy. I become happy by divorce for a few days, and again I become unhappy. So again I am running after second marriage, for example. So the Master says the intellect must cultivate a sattvic attitude. What is sattvic attitude? There are three factors that governs the entire universe outside: activity, rest or inertia, and the knowledge. So that knowledge part is known as the sattvic attitude. The activity part is known as the rajasic attitude. And the inertia part is known as the tamasic attitude. So the Master says this intellect should be taught, changed, so that it contains a sattvic attitude. What is the sattvic attitude? It has a thirst for the knowledge of the reality. It aspires for the knowledge. It is not carried away by the blind belief, cult, dogma, and religion. Look at thousands of years ago, the Masters have said, and that is what is happening today. So why we should have a right sattvic attitude? The Master answers, so that you have a right knowledge of the reality. You have a right perception. You have a right action. Only this sattvic intellect can learn the principles of Eastern wisdom. This is what the Masters have been saying. So what we do? We pick up the practice of mindfulness, without understanding whether I have a right aptitude, the right state of the intellect that can see the right knowledge, that can have a right perception, that can lead to the right action. We don't think about it. Just close your eyes, focus on the breath, and I enjoyed the mindfulness. No. It says the sattvic intellect must be there. Now, what this sattvic intellect does, it has a clarity of understanding what is real, what is unreal. So, one power of the intellect is known as discernment. Is this wall real? Take an example and start understanding, is this wall really solid? Apply discernment. So we take the principle of science. The science says if the atoms of a particular thing is very close to each other, then it appears as solid. The same atoms, if they are far distant from each other, appears as a liquid. Too far appears as a gas. So is the solidity of a wall is real? Science says it is not real. I'm not talking of the Eastern wisdom. The science says it is not real. Go deeper. Science says that this electron, which seems to be a particle, they found one electron at two places. And they said our observation is not clear. That led to the understanding of quantum physics. It is because of this problem. So they say the electron behaves as a particle and also behaves as a wave. Again, there was a puzzle. Then what about the electron? And ultimately they said the entire universe is nothing but a stream, a flow of energy. This is the power of discernment. So we have to apply the power of discernment. What is my real nature and what is my unreal nature, false nature? Same principle. Is body real? So we define the properties of what is real, that is present in the past, present in the future, that is all pervading, that is infinite, is real. Whatever is changing constantly cannot be termed as real. Is the body changing constantly? Yes, it is not real. It means I am not the body, but I am present. That very I am is present in the waking state, in the sleep state, in the dream state. Am I a waker? No. How do is the world become aware of me and then I say it is a world, or I become aware of the world? In a waking state, that I, real nature, becomes aware of the world in the waker state. Why? Because the mind is active. Now look at the dream state. Discernment. We are applying the same principle of discernment. In a dream state, our body of the waking state and the mind of the waking state is present, but we are not using it. It is a different body that is moving. It is a different mind that is creating the dreams. So which body and the mind is true? Which body and the mind is me? None. I am not the body. I am not the mind. Further, the proof. Do I exist in the sleep? I can definitely say that when I am dead, I do not exist. Because who knows then? But in deep sleep, I-ness is there. Body is not there. Mind is not there. It means it proves that I is different from That real nature is different from the sleeping state, waking state, dream state. So you see that from the intellect we refined it, we made it sattvic, and with the sattvic intellect we learn these principles and then we apply viveka. Viveka is discernment. So the more and more you apply viveka, it drops attachment, it drops anxiety, it drops duality, it drops conflict naturally. You need not to worry about it. But we don't apply. So the Master says applied discernment is dispassion. So once we reach to that state of discernment, clarity and understanding by the simple purified intellect, and then we learn the principles of Eastern wisdom that leads to the practice of mindfulness. Now see that when you apply discernment in every day-to-day life, for example, you are talking about the political parties, just internally you play with it. You may be knowing that your mind favors one party, but don't get upset if other favors the other party. Just a play and fun. That's not a cup of my tea. Thank you very much. Your views are, I have taken your views. I have accepted your views. No need to enter into any kind of conflict. Let these parties, let these leaders fight and enter into a conflict themselves. Why should I enter into a conflict? That is the power of discernment. You play your role outside as a friend. Okay, I agree with you. What will happen if I say I agree with you all, even if I internally I have a different liking? I save myself from anxiety and reaction and conflict. That is the way the seeker works in the family, professional and social life. So what happens? When we continue the practice of discernment in the intellect, that keeps my mind in the highest state of dispassion. And what is dispassion? Dispassion means I'm not influenced by anything happening in the world outside. One. And I live in the state of equanimity of the mind. What is equanimity of the mind? Not affected by profit and loss, likes and dislikes, hatred and jealousy, pain and the pleasure, profit and the loss. Why? So another principle comes. Again we are talking of discernment and dispassion. Why? Why I am not affected by the pain, dualities, pairs of opposites, pain, pleasure, profit, loss, victory, defeat? Because there comes another beautiful principle that says this world is made up of pairs of opposites. And any action in the world is defective. Why it is defective? Because it gives rise to these pairs of opposites as a result. Your mind says, let me eat potatoes, add more carbs. The next day morning, the stomach says, don't worry, I will constipate you. And then we change it. Any action leads to pairs of opposites. Profit or loss, sorrow and happiness, victory and defeat. So that belongs to the world, not to you. You fail. Continue working again. You succeed. Maintain that equanimity. Where is the problem? That mind can succeed in mindfulness. That mind awakens to the knowledge of the reality. That mind is awakened. You have heard the story a couple of times. When Buddha got away, so when Siddhartha was awakened, he was named Buddha. So he was walking into a village. A scholar, an academician, was mesmerized by his calmness in walking, in talking, and in his eyes. So that academician, or you can say the professor, asked, "Who are you? Are you a prince?" Buddha smiled and said, "No, I am not." "Are you an angel?" "No, I am not an angel." "Are you a king?" "No, I am not a king." Then that professor asked, "Then what are you?" The Buddha said, "I am awakened." I am awakened. So when I say I am awakened, I am not giving a name to real I. That real I is awakened state of consciousness. That is the goal of meditation. So let us practice today with these ideas, these concepts in the mind. Close your eyes. The stage 1. Body is steady. Mind is facing within. Where within? Either in the heart or the head, whatever you like. In the head you look deep inside in the space, and in the space become aware of even 1% of the calmness, a spark of calmness. Why? To make the mind believe that calmness is already present. In mindfulness, we grow into the same calmness. That spark becomes the full-blown light. That is the journey. Why? We get what we already have. There are 2 ways of the action. One action, I don't have the money, so let me work hard and earn money. That money comes from outside and it becomes mine. Other way of working on the mind is what we already have. We discover, we don't earn. It doesn't come from outside. That principle must be made clear. Now in the stage 1, when we continue to look at the calmness, the spark of calmness within, at the same time we settle ourselves. Look at the neck joint and feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. The mind moves to the hip joint. Feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. Move the mind on the hip joint. Just the mind is moving on the hip joint. You are aware, conscious, feeling, and you experience sensation being comfortable and steadiness. The entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Sensation being comfortable and steadiness. This is the process of viveka. Viveka filters the sleep, a constant influx of the thoughts, images in the mind from the rest. That is the third step in the stage, is known as being carefree. Being carefree. Thoughts are coming, let it come and go. The way the traffic is moving and you are standing across a road. In that state of being steady, being comfortable, and being carefree, what is working inside is viveka. What is working inside is known as discernment. In that state of discernment, we move to the second stage. We purify the mind and balance the intellect to live within. So looking deep inside the heart in the space, being aware of the spark of calmness, and start breathing quick, short, in the gentle breath from both the nostrils into the chest. It's a playful breath. Don't exert, but playing with the breath. Continue quick, short, gentle, playful breath, but keep your awareness and attention deep inside the heart in the space. That will help the mind to remove the current influx of the thoughts. Continue. And stop this. Start inhaling deep, silent and slow, first into the belly, then into the rib cage, looking deep inside the forehead, that spark of calmness. While breathing out, make the humming sound louder, deeper, longer. That will influence the brain, in turn the intellect. Continue humming sound, deep, long, silent breath during inhalation, and humming sound with awareness and attention deep inside the forehead in the space. And now stop this humming sound. Look at the head and the neck. Just be there. You are aware. And in that awareness, experience, sensation deepens. Relaxation is there. And stillness is there. Move the mind on the right arm. So aware of the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips and experience sensation, relaxation and stillness.
I didn't understand that.
Move the mind on the left arm. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Be there. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. See that. Move the mind on the chest in the belly. Be aware, just do nothing. There is a spark of calmness is already there within, and with that reference, you will experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. The mind goes to the right leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. The mind goes to the left leg. Sensation, relaxation and stillness. The entire body. Move the mind slowly, gently on the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes, and experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. In that state, when the body is totally calm and relaxed and still, we can regulate the energy not to go to the body and create an influx of thoughts. What should we do? Let us move to the stage 3. Just change the breath with a little deep, silent and slow. Not very, a little deep, silent and slow. With that breath, we point the mind inside in the spine. As you inhale, the mind moves from the top crown of the head to the tailbone, in the space inside the spine. Why we say so? To keep the attention and awareness inside. Again, it is a play, not a force. You have to earn that awareness. And as you exhale, the mind is moving from the tailbone inside the spine in the space, reaches to the crown of the head. The mind sometimes does not listen to us. Sometimes it wants to go into unconscious sleep. At other times, Oh, it has an influx of the thoughts. So we add another point here. The moment you start inhaling, the mind starts moving from the crown of the head to the tailbone. You sing in your mind, Om Shanti, looking into the space. When you exhale, let the mind rise to the crown of the head with the same singing. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om. Continue. Om Shanti. Your singing in your mind means the mind is working on the mind. You are moving the mind with the breath inside, with the breath in the space. So what the mind constantly looking the space, Om Shanti, the spark of the calmness that is already present within. So the mind is being educated, empowered. And now continue with the deep silent slow breath. Leave the Om Shanti and check this inner space inside the spine. The breath is the driver. Breath is the car. Mind is the driver. And it drives the breath on the empty space inside the spine. So when you experience that sense of emptiness where the mind is driving the breath, the mind is already living within. And in that state of living within, the mindfulness may take place. Continue. So where you see that what we are doing, we are picking up the nature of the mind, and that nature is changing. Now leave that deep silence, slow breath. Let the breath be normal. Keep looking at the breath. And when that normal breath goes in, just drop Om Shanti. Why are you dropping Om Shanti? Just to maintain awareness that you know the breath is going in. And when the breath comes out, Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And now do nothing. So in the state of doing nothing, you are aware of everything, what is happening outside and inside, everything. At the same time, you have that spark of the calmness has gone deeper. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind to the right hand, your mind to the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences, then bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences, and the last, if you have any question. How are you? And unmute, then only I can listen to you.
Now,
Yes, now I can hear you.
yeah. Oh, it was very deep.
Yes, I could see your
I-
face.
I felt emptied out.
That's good.
Yeah, and I had the royal blue circle in front of me when I.
Royal blue, it's a deeper state.
Yeah.